Hi guys, my name is Rodney. Welcome to Games Master Toolbox. In real life, an underground ecosystem can support the robust life of those found in Dungeons and Dragons Underdark. I feel that Dungeons and Dragons share some elements of the Hollow Earth trope, not all of them like an underground sun. Uh, The Underdark is too vast and it has an insane ecosystem. The drow should be milky white, no eyes, and maybe have some sort of echolocation or heightened sense of smell. What I'm about to suggest is adding a bit more realism to Dungeons and Dragons, or a pure Hollow Earth setting, or a reason, or a logic or a reason to keep them separate. Okay, picture a dwarven village above ground. This is this is above ground because it's a good location to deal with outsiders, as it's a merchant town really. Below ground there is a stereotypical dwarven underground city. The players notice a few odd things after adventuring there for a while. All who work in the mines have a greater tendency for their firstborn to be daughters. Those who live deeper in the mines seem to have it worse. There's chronic fatigue, rash, and ear and eye infection, hair and weight loss, and a constant cough. Further investigation reveals brain, liver, kidney, and heart not functioning correctly. There's always some sort of a problem there. What led me to this? I was looking up the dangers of mining because someone brought up salt mines. I'll get back to that later. And there was a list of injuries. One of the injuries that caught my attention was radiation poisoning, uranium deposits. We don't think about it because we always associate radiation poisoning with sci-fi, but uranium is a natural occurring ore. It's low radiation, but if you're surrounded by this stuff for a long period of time, or inhale a lot of it, you're going to get poisoned. It's 40 times more common than silver, and it's 500 more times common than gold. Maybe that's a typo, I'm not sure. I didn't bother looking it up more. Now, I am suggesting uranium because it's dangerous and we GMs love that stuff. A good dungeoneering and or heal check should let you know what is going on. If a new mining colony suddenly has a breakout of some sort of strange sickness to help identify the ore. Another area you could take this if the fantasy world is a post-apocalyptic world. Now, just imagine the world of Greyhawk. Okay, let's face it, Greyhawk and Forgotten Realms, they do fall in post-apocalyptic world, or they just recovered because they always seem to have a period of some ancient empire that got destroyed. It was much more advanced than what you have now. But in this case, I'm using the ancient civilization to be closer to ours. You know, so think of the world of Greyhawk, and it's a rain of the rain of colorless fire. Maybe it's radiation. You know, or the colorless fire is still magic, but further into the past, there was an advanced scientific society. Like I said, by there's it's advanced compared to the medieval society. It's a society. Maybe it was a society much like our own in our present time. So if this society is much like our own, there are underground radioactive waste dumps, chemical waste, landfills, just waiting to be discovered by adventurers. All those radioactive barrels might look like treasure to the unsuspecting adventurer. Now, let me go back to salt mines. Now, I had this adventure idea of a village or city on top of a plateau. The river water was falling off the plateau would turn into salt. The plateau, the city was surrounded by salt flats and desert further out. And there was a reason for this. So maybe one day I'll tell you. Now, a friend gave me the idea of the water turning into salt and forcing prisoners to work in salt mines. He let me know how dangerous they are. All the salt in the air will dry you out faster. If you cast water producing spells and maybe a lightning spell, or maybe there's some water just enough to make a brine, the lightning can cause the salt to release chlorine, hydrogen, and sodium hydroxide. Chlorine was used as a weapon by the Germans in World War One, as described. Now, this is a quote. As described by the soldiers, it had a distinct smell of mixtures between pepper and pineapple. It also tasted metallic and stung the back of the throat and chest. Chlorine can react with water in the mucosa of the lungs to form hydrochloric acid, sodium, and then end quote. Now, sodium hydroxide can cause chemical burns. Why am I going on about this? Why should we worry about adding real-world elements to our game? There's, there, there is a very real danger of knowing too much, which will help spot mistakes in a setting. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson, spotting stars. He spotted stars that have the same configuration on Earth on an alien planet in a movie. If that's an extreme example of ruining the setting. And I was coming up with the same problem with the list of injuries I was seeing with miners. Fungal infection, various lung disease, heat stroke, heat cramp, a lot of things with heat. Frostbite if you're in high altitude mine, deafness, that's mostly rock drilling and explosives. Man, the Underdark is stupid. The way that it was made, the way it's conceived, it's just idiotic. When you compare it to real world stuff, and I even I've even gone to the part about spelunking. You look at the gear of an adventurer, and they think, and you can't help to think these guys are brainless. Now, my answer is Magic did it. This way, you can keep your Underdark. And it all starts to make sense. Maybe the reason why the Underdark has such an ecosystem, such just a crazy ecosystem, is because of magic. Since magic is maybe magic is the source of life for the Underdark. Then magic users can play Havoc, a little bit more Havoc, more than normal. Like casting an anti-magic a spell can turn the ecosystem to normal real life. And now because of the cramped corridors, people fall from heat stroke or some weather condition or exposed uranium deposits they live next to and never knew about. Or you can have pockets of underground that act like real life, and the pockets could be known as wastelands to the Underdark citizens. So yeah, you never know where inspiration will hit you. I think we need to worry, and maybe just for fun, we need to worry about radiation more in Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway, I'll see you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.